Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Osha.
Let's start episode 102 of Ask Vidas and Osha podcast. And today's question was sent by Paul, and he writes, Dear Vidas, thank you first for your good and precise advices. I spent 2 weeks in Italy, so it was not possible for me to answer immediately your question. My dream, playing in such a manner that people who listen to it will like to hear this kind of music in the future. So Osha, it's a very broad dream, I would say, right?
Yes.
Basically, what it means, uh, probably to play organ in a way that people would feel compelled to come to your concert or recital or church service where you play in the future, right?
Yes, that's right. But it's sort of hard, to please everybody. Maybe some of your audience would, fall in love with your playing, but probably not all of them.
Definitely, because everyone has different tastes,
Yes.
and we both also have a little bit different tastes, right? Because you like some things that uh, I like less, for example, right? Or vice versa. So that's perfectly normal and natural thing. Uh, do you think, Osha, that it's wise to keep hoping that everybody would like your playing, every listener?
I would be glad if at least some of the people who came to my recital would love it.
So when you play, for example, recital solo or together with me, do you think about your audience at that time or no?
During my exact performance?
Yeah,
No,
no.
but I think about my audience before recital, while I'm selecting, pieces for recital. Then I think about them a lot.
And what's your ideal listener? Do you have so to say, avatar or a character or persona in mind for whom you would like to play? Or it's a general symbolic person, or maybe very specific, your friend or colleague or relative?
Well, no, I don't have that particular imagination about exact, concrete person. But what I keep in mind, I know I'm creating in my head sort of image of that person who might come to my recital.
And what does he like in general? What kind of music does he or she likes?
Various styles, and so I'm trying not to, to play one style music, but to add various genres from different styles. What about you?
My opinion changed over the years. At first, I felt compelled to play for a listener, imaginary listener, who would uh, like to hear things that I like, right? Sort of similar to me. Um, and because my taste also changes, and this perspective also changed with years. There was a time when I I liked to play only early music, and there was a time when I liked to play only modern music, and there was a time when I liked to improvise long recitals. Um, so it's changing because if you do that, your audience is very limited, right?
That's true.
You maybe have an audience of one
Of
yourself,
yourself, yes,
or
that's a possibility too.
maybe your family member, one or two will come, but I doubt it
Yeah.
because everyone is busy and keeping their own uh, things in mind. and you have to think something different, right, for everyone.
Yes, because you never know what people will expect from you. Because I have heard, a few times, for example, people talking, "Oh wow, he is playing without music score. He has such a good memory." But then, on the other hand, I also have heard such talks as, for example, a person playing from the music sheet, and people, wondering, "Wow, he can sight read music. That's, amazing." So you never know what people will like.
This is a good point because it's pointless to please everybody, to try to please. We can't even begin to please because everyone is so in their own world, and I think the best we can do is provide something of quality. Quality is very important. Quality, but to have maybe a general direction where we would like to go with our public performance. And of course, it has to have an arc, like in any story. You will have to have a beginning, middle, and an end, and a nice contrast, variety, right? So your recital also should look something like that. It should not be in one mood or one tempo or one registration. Don't you think, Osha?
Yes, and of course, first of all, you have to have a high standards, as you mentioned before, and you have to try to please yourself, to be happy with what you are doing.
And also, um, when you play a recital, I think it's wise to uh, select pieces that add value to the listener, right? They, I think, the general direction should be like a mix of things from a variety maybe of organ schools and historical periods, uh, because then a person will like something, will find something that he or she will like. Um, we have so many pieces in the repertoire, right, from 7 centuries ago, and it would be nice to include something from many centuries, not all, but many.
Yes, that's true. And you need to play various repertoire. In that way, somebody will, can connect with some of the pieces you're playing, and another person will connect with another piece that you're playing on your repertoire. But this rule does not apply if you're playing on historically oriented organ. For example, replica of some historical instrument, or on a real historical instrument, when you have to choose repertoire appropriate for that instrument.
This is true for the organ, right? Because if you listen to piano recitals, every piano is more or less similar, right? It doesn't have such a variety as organ, and pianists can play, you know, basically everything on every piano. They have because every piano has about 88 keys. With organ is different. Some organs have one manual, some two, some four, some five, or even more. And the range of the keyboard is different, 4 octaves, even 5 octaves. And the pedal board is different. Some organs have short octaves in the bass, and some even have split semitones, where D sharp is not the same as E flat, for example. So all those things have to be taken into consideration when you think about the repertoire for your public performance, uh, and also thinking about your audience, uh, so that strangers who will come to your recital would not be bored,
Yes, it's very important.
because it's nice to imagine that you're playing for friends who know you, who trust you, who like you, uh, and of course, this might happen from time to time when you are, for example, contacted to play a personal recital, private recital for a group of friends for a birthday party, let's say. Then they will listen to almost anything you play. But if in majority of cases you have another situation, right? That people will come to your recital. Some of them will never have heard about you before, and then they have this preconceived notion about organ music. What have they heard about it in the past? What they like, sort of their preferences. And since everybody is sort of different, it's very difficult to please everybody in this way. So Osha, for example, our next recital when we play together is in November, right?
Yes.
In about 2.5 weeks. How do we plan this program, and what principles did we have in mind?
Well, we played some pieces solo, chose to play some solo pieces and some duets.
Hmm.
Well,
What we've thought about, I think, is that we uh, begin with the probably the most pleasing musical piece that we found on this program, right?
yes, that's true.
Definitely, because it's a aria or duet from Bach's cantata number 80, and we liked it so much, and we thought it would be nice to add it in the beginning, because at the end, what we chose
Sonata by Mozart.
for four hands,
Yes.
and it's a different piece, sort of a um, loud, soft, loud registration, three parts, three movements, and it fits for the ending very nicely because it has this character of ending at the end. Um, so we have this beginning and the end figured out, and then in the middle, what we did. Can you elaborate a little bit?
Yes, we play some solo pieces, for example, like I'm playing the Swelling's Fantasia Chromatica, and that's a hard piece for listeners to listen to.
Therefore, it's not the first
Yes,
on the menu.
because otherwise I'm afraid that everybody would leave right at the beginning of our recital.
And then after this difficult piece, right, we again play a pleasing music by Bach, this second aria,
Yes.
which we arranged from the cantata, and so on. We sort of alternate between um, mentally difficult pieces and pleasing music, and therefore we can also hope that our listeners be also interested and not be bored and compelled to come again to our recitals because we have this variety and contrasts, right?
Yes, that's right.
And whatever you do, don't play too long. It's better for your
Yes,
recital to be too short than too long.
it's better that people would leave your recital longing for more music than no other way.
Exactly. So, wonderful guys. Please send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. And this was Vidas.
And Ausra,
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.